Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today inside Clash Royale. We're already inside a match here. Final day of the season, 6,735 trophies. We have Happy Noob here, and so many of you guys requested I bring Happy Noob back in the channel. He's got to be the #1 requested pro that I see in the comments. Nice predictive log there by Post Malone.
I know I always come and go.
Our opponent here in the first live match that I wanted to bring him back on the channel, but more so than just seeing his amazing skills, if you go back and watch the first Happy, and we actually missed that Inferno tower there, getting 2 very lucrative hits on that left tower. But if you go back and watch the last time I had Happy Noob on the channel, if you guys are interested in that, in case you missed that video, I will include it in the show notes below. I tell you, incredible skills that Happy Noob has, aka Viper. He's an amazing player. He beat some really difficult matchups in that video, and I'm sure we're gonna be seeing the same thing today. There, he got caught kind of without an answer to that princess. He decided just to go ahead and nado, and we held her to only 1 hit there on that princess, I believe. Post Malone has the propensity to want to play the princess there at the bridge to attack. He's a very aggressive bait player, playing this minor bait deck with the Inferno tower. So let's go ahead and see how Happy Noob deals with it here. And the thing about this deck is, not only is the gameplay going to be amazing today, guys, but also this deck, I have a sneaking suspicion, is going to be one of the best Hog cycle decks that you can run inside the new meta after the balance changes. The reason being is because we have the Valkyrie. I think that Valkyrie is going to be one of the most improved cards, especially if Barbarians become a thing. Valkyrie does very well against Barbarians, does very well against any ground swarm, against Rascals, against Goblin Gang, blah blah blah, and also against Royal Hogs. So if any of those cards become meta, which I think they will, you're going to want to be running a lot of Valkyrie. I would even consider running Valkyrie in a regular 2.6 Hog cycle. Obviously, it wouldn't be 2.6 anymore, but you guys get the drift. So we activate King Tower there with a tornado, and then Log comes down against that Skarmy and the Princess, taking the left tower down to 2390 HP. Meanwhile, the Log comes down on our tower, taking it down to 2600. The Miner is on the tower. We miss with the Valkyrie there, getting a lot of chip damage with that Miner in Goblin Barrel combo, and then another Princess at the bridge there by the opponent. We go ahead and take this opportunity to respond with a rocket, our first rocket of the match. Interesting log there by the opponent. I wonder what that was. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe it was predicting a Hog Ice Spirit push. Now comes the Hog after the log, and the Skarmy comes down to respond to the Hog Rider, denying all hits. But we got to talk about the rocket here, guys, because I know a lot of you guys probably are going to ask me in the comments. It happened last video at least. What about the rocket? Do we need the rocket in this deck? Can we get away? Now, this is going to be an important push. 1 second, guys. Executioner changes locations, but Post Malone gets that location there. Beautiful goblins pulling those minions back towards the bridge, but relentless with another princess, but we got it with the Ice Spirit. And there comes the Valkyrie again. We have Log back in cycle. Very nice predictive plays by both the opponent and, of course, Happy Noob there. He was ready for that princess with the Ice Spirit there, and then pulled everything back with the goblins, denying all damage to that tower. Now he's just gonna nado, take care of all these skeletons. We get to the left tower there. That's 1 swing. That's 2 swings, and then the rocket will finish things off. We'll talk about the rocket in the next match, guys. That was a nice, easy victory, or at least he made it look easy for Happy Noob. See you in match number 2. All right, guys, here we go into the second match against JJ. I think he's playing Golem, I believe. Now, let me just throw this out there, the whole rocket thing, because a lot of people are like, hey, I don't like using rocket, my rocket's not leveled up or whatever, can I sub in Fireball? And of course the answer is yes, you can sub in Fireball, but it's kind of redundant in a deck like this. You already have the Executioner, you already have the Tornado, and you already have the Valkyrie. So rocket is going to be a valuable tool in your toolkit, a weapon in your arsenal, to use for tower chip damage, or not chip damage, for tower spell cycle damage when your opponent has too many counters to your Hog Rider. You're not able to get through enough with the Hog. Eventually, you try to chip that tower down throughout the match using logs, the occasional Hog hit, and then you get to the point where you can make those rocket trades if you can rely on the ExeNado on defense. So for that reason, I would not advise using a Fireball instead of rocket, but of course, do what works for you. I say this every video. Your range and ladder, your spell levels, or just your comfortability, what you're comfortable comfortable with, make sure you don't be afraid to adjust a deck to fit your player, your tendencies, or your preferences, or your card level. So here we go against this Golem push, guys. Let's see how he deals with the first Golem push and a decent elixir disadvantage here. Look at the elixir of JJ right now, guys. We're gonna go ahead and we have the Valkyrie ready to tank. Valkyrie Executioner is gonna be such a lethal 1-2 punch with that NATO there, and Ice Spirit, and Log, and it looks like we're able to defend this push. And you saw how that Valkyrie did so much work there, just tanking and biding time for the Executioner to get his work done. Well played from JJ. 3202 remaining on our tower, 2917 on his. Here comes a Hog Rider, a nice baby dragon in guard defense, but not before we get one swing on that left tower, entering into double elixir time, guys. So he's not going to want to take all this damage. He's going to play a Valkyrie there, so we had to use 4 elixir defending or distracting the baby dragon in the guards there. Now it's going to be a Night Witch. Golem in the back, and again, a little advantage elixir-wise for JJ here in double elixir time. He gives the well played. We respond with an Executioner. We did leak some elixir there, a 3.7 elixir leakage here on Happy Noob's part. We go in with the unorthodox play. Not a lot of people know to do this. We're trying to set our rotation right at the same time getting some tip damage. So we go same lane as that Golem there with the Hog Rider. Now we're able to have another Executioner in cycle for when this one dies. Here it is right there. Executioner right on cue. Good job. But now we're dealing with another Golem. Again, we have the Valkyrie down. Valkyrie's going to tank a little bit. The poison comes down. Our goblins are going to be mitigated there. A NATO comes down. We don't want to take that Golem death damage. That's the important thing. And that's why we played that Ice Spirit and then the Log. See how much he's doing there defensively to avoid the Golem death damage? It's really notable here. Now we go in for the Hog. Baby Dragon gets our tower down to 771, but we get his down to 751. 45 seconds or so left, or 245, excuse me, left here, but this is going to be GG. Rocket plus Log takes the tower down, and there it is. Just like that, guys, relying on the power of the ExeNado Valkyrie combo and the Logs and the Ice Spirits not to go unmentioned, picking up the victory there in match number 2. Let's go into match number 3, guys. All right, guys, here we go against Nova Jaffo 04. This is for 6,800 trophies. Man, this is incredible. I could never get there. I could never get to 6,800 trophies. I mean, it's funny too when you watch these pro players. Part of you has a tendency of thinking, at least I do, that like it doesn't seem that difficult, but it's really the caliber of play from guys like Viper, aka Happy Noob, from guys like Happy Noob. Just it's a testament to how good they are that they sometimes make it look easy. Sometimes you see these matches, you're like, I could do that. Like, why couldn't I do that? And I guess it's what gives us hope. It's what keeps us playing this game. Like, hey, maybe someday I will. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll be featured on my own YouTube channel. So here we go. It's going to be, again, responding with the Executioner into the Giant here, similar to how we handled the Golem matchup. Now, this is an interesting free-to-play friendly deck, it looks like, that Nova Jaffo is playing here at the top of ladder last day of season. He has a Giant double Prince deck. Probably a triple spell, we'll see, who knows. Could have Miner in there, could have, certainly has a Log or something like that. We're about to see, probably. A Hog Rider comes in right now. Bats are one of the cards. Bats comes down, gonna do some damage to the Hog, but not before we get a couple swings there on the right tower, taking it down to 2,900, and then we have those Goblins ready to stymie that Prince charge, or to prevent him from charging, and then the Bats get one little nibble there on the right tower, taking it down to 2,951. So here we go, halfway through this match already. That flew by, and here goes a Giant again in the back. We're gonna respond again with the Executioner in back in turn. Let's see what the opponent does this situation with about 10 seconds left here before double elixir time. He's going to start out with a Dark Prince behind the Giant there. We're going to immediately respond with a Valkyrie. Poison comes down, but remember, the Executioner's not going to die to poisons. This is going to be a relatively easy defense here, but probably the last easy defense that we'll be seeing inside this match. Of course, the opponent able to execute much bigger pushes once we get to double elixir time. This could be a nice push here. The Prince is going to go down or be close to going down at the the hands of those goblins and the Valkyrie. Now we're going to use probably the Ice Spirit again here. Let's see, Ice Spirit again, going to stop that entire kind of counter push there, and then another reload with the Giant in the back. Another big elixir leakage. That's 4.6 here from Happy Noob inside this match with 30 seconds to go. This time the opponent switching things up. He drops a Prince in the right lane. He has a Dark Prince in the left lane. We respond with the Valkyrie. We should be able to, this deck cycles deceivingly quickly, guys. It's not Hog cycle, but we already have Valkyrie back in hand. And he's gonna play it here? Is he gonna play it? He is. So Valkyrie's down, and you see that? We just used a Log, a NATO, and Ice Spirit. Goblins, we're back to the Valkyrie already, and here we go again. It's gonna be a Log coming down. The Hog does get to the tower. Meanwhile, we use the NATO in the left lane. Hog gets a few hits on that tower, 995 remaining. That's awful close to rocket log range, guys. Two rockets, and this is GG. Nice defense there in the left. Poison comes down. All we need is one Hog hit, guys. And he's gonna get it, no doubt about it. One Hog hit, that's gonna be rocket range, and that's gonna be another victory for the Happy Noob. You gotta love him. He's happy, he's a noob. What's not to love? Let's move into the next match, guys. So far, so good. Here we go, guys. Against Dark Lord. Dark Lord against Happy Noob. And Hog v Hog. Now, if you guys haven't noticed this yet, he has a very, very big likelihood, if he has a Hog in his starting hand, to go ahead and execute on that Hog push as the first play of the game. So you've seen this in, I think, every match that he's had Hog in hand. He's used it, so kind of playing aggressive, similar to like a Jack play style is Viper, and he's gonna start out, if he has Hog in hand, he's gonna start out, he wants to see what he's going against. Log is down, so we immediately attack with the Goblins and the Hog Rider in the right lane. Another card that a lot of you guys asked about in the first video is the Goblins. Why Goblins? Why not Skeletons? Why not the other cycle card along with the Ice Spirit or Guards or something like that? And again, guys, play what you're comfortable with, but Happy Noob loves the fact that they don't die to Zap, they don't die to Snowball, and they do more DPS than your Skeletons, all for one more elixir. So he's a big believer in the Goblins in this deck as a perfect fit along with a Hog Rider. So here we go. It's going to be a Valkyrie against that Hog, but this is actually, in my opinion, and this is not the words of Viper here, this is the words of yours truly, but I think this is probably the most difficult matchup that you can run up against. Mainly because he's always going to be able to counter our Hog. It's difficult to mount a really big push against him. Granted, we do have NATO, but he can cycle the Hogs faster than we can. Just a hair, but a hair is fast enough. He can cycle more Hogs than we can, and he can cycle faster back to his Musketeer and his Cannon on defense as well. So here we go again. It's kind of one of those matches where you want to wait for your opponent to make a mistake, and that was a beautiful NATO. That's a 4-for-3 trade, but we did leak an elixir waiting for that NATO, waiting for the opportune time to cast the NATO there. And again, we're going to start with a Valkyrie trying to build the push in the back. Valkyrie and Executioner in the right lane. We have an Ice Spirit in the left. Going to run into that other Ice Spirit. A Log comes down in the right for us, trying to do some chip damage to the Musketeer as well as the tower. A nice defense there. Log comes down against those Goblins. See how we used the NATO? We pulled the Hog and the Ice Spirit into the Executioner, and then we played the Goblins there. Nice defense with about 25 seconds left here in regulation. Another NATO's gonna hard counter that Hog in the left. Fireball comes raining down in the right. This time we do get a couple swings of that axe against that Musketeer, but we're probably gonna want to answer this Musketeer. We do so with the Log. However, we haven't gotten one Hog hit, I don't think, against the opponent's tower. Now again, we stymie that Hog with the Ice Spirit, a high cannon placed by the opponent. 3 seconds left in regulation, and NATO's gonna hard counter that Hog again. This could be a draw, this could be a matchup that Happy Noob is going to want to draw. So he plays the Valkyrie and the Executioner. A Fireball cycle started early here by Dark Lord, of course, noticing the same thing that we are, that this might come down to spell cycle. If it's a spell cycle match, we're gonna win that match. However, again, we have to make sure we have enough elixir at hand to defend properly and keep the pressure up in the right. This time we're gonna go in the left here with a Valkyrie and a Hog Rider, but you guys are seeing already Nice predictive log idea there, but a delayed skeleton drop. We finally get our first Hog Rider hit of the match on the left tower. We're able to stop that Hog, but not before he gets one hit on our left tower, taking it down to 19-12. We go in with another Hog to distract that Musketeer in the right, and then another Hog from the opponent. This is so much Hog going on right now, guys. A 6-for-4 trade there with that rocket, unfortunately. And at this point in the match, I think that Happy Noob is he's perfectly fine with playing for a tie. And another fireball comes down. This could be tricky. Do you think you can win this, guys? I don't know. I think you have to, the opponent has to make a mistake. They have to overcommit. They start out with the defensive cannon there. Another log comes down. We have NATO back in hand. We use it right there. That's going to prevent any Hog hits, but we have that left tower down to 1497 thanks to those 2-cycle fireballs and a couple errant Hog hits throughout the match. So here comes another Valkyrie at the bridge. We're going to go same lane here, trying to just play the Valkyrie and just kind of catch the Hog, do a little bit extra damage. We have NATO back in hand. We use it there. He shouldn't get any... Oh, the Hog switches lanes there, the switch lane Hog. And that was actually not a bad thing. He's splitting his damage, and we get 2 Hog swings on the left tower. But guys, I don't know. Only about 75 seconds left here in this match. Hog Rider comes down the right lane. He's going to charge towards that tower. We're going to NATO last second again, preventing any damage, I think. Okay, yep, that was close for some reason, but no to Hog damage. Of course, if your King Tower is activated, if you use the NATO at the very last second, like you've seen Happy Noob do throughout this entire match, you can prevent all Hog damage. Here we go, Ice Golem left lane, Hog Rider placed at the top there, Goblins down, NATO's back in cycle again, NATO's used, pulling that Hog into the Valkyrie, 9:59, 44 seconds, and time is ticking off the clock here, guys. Log comes down, we take care of that cannon, we're gonna get another swing on that left tower, 1502, and we stop that Hog again. Log comes down, left tower down, just 836. Oh boy, 30 seconds left here, guys. This is going to be the last match of the video, guys. Fireball comes down. This could be an L. This could be an L. He needs another Hog connection, the opponent that is, another Hog connection and a Fireball log. So they're going to be looking to cycle to a Hog Fireball. A rocket comes down on the cannon. Fireball comes down on our tower. 11 seconds left. We get the Hog to the tower, guys. Oh, if that cannon had targeted the Valkyrie instead of the Hog, we would have won this match. Instead, it's a draw, and a very, very well-executed draw at that by Happy Noob. So, hey, it's an undefeated video. He didn't win all the matches, but he went undefeated, and he climbed to over 6,800 trophies, guys. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Again, huge shout out to Viper. Now's a great time to check out the other Viper video that I did a couple months back, or check out the Pompeo balloon last day of the season video that I put out yesterday. Some sick, insane plays by my man Pompeo as well. If in case you guys missed that, I'll also include that video in the show notes below in the description. So guys, a huge shout out to Viper. Check out his player profile, thanks to statsroyale.com, and check out his social media information all in the show notes. Again, huge shout out to my man Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.